Now, look and listen to the girls' class.
What kind of machine is that?
Atwood.
Same material, same teacher. What a difference in the way they sit, the way they act, and most of all, the way they're taught.
Hey, Dr. Workman. Okay, just answer our question. Does the moment of interest...
Dr. Workman tailored his teaching style in a way he believed worked better for girls.
The difference in the all-girls section was, instead of saying, when you get a right answer, come and ask me and I'll tell you whether you're right, I said, when you get something you think is right, talk to your neighbor and see if you agree. When all of you agree, call me over and I'll tell you whether all of you are right. No. Why?
Just looking at the chairs in the second classroom, you see people working together instead of alone.
Oh, I got it. And then
You see people shouting out answers, feeling comfortable enough to shout it out as a group. Everybody is participating.
One day, the Satkers counted twice as many exchanges between students and teacher in the all-girls classes in the predominantly boys section.
Talk to me.
What is so striking about the girls' class is how vocal they are, when even Dr. Workman presumed, from past experience, that girls were more passive.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Because why is... I don't understand. Okay, why is the...
Excuse me. Right there at the end, I heard two extremely unusual things. I heard someone say, I got a question I don't understand, in a physics class. I don't think the other class I would have heard someone say out loud, I don't understand.
I agree with you. And again, this is a pattern we saw in single-sex classes, where girls, especially in math and science, freely say, I don't get it, do it again, please explain it, question after question. In fact, in this single-sex class, we found on the first day, 50% of the interactions were questions to the teacher. And on the second day, 70%. That's amazing. That doesn't usually happen in school. Usually the teacher asks, the students answer, hopefully, or hide when they don't answer.
One thing that I noticed in that class, when a group of girls gets together and becomes determined that they are going to learn, they will not let each other fail. They will go out of their way to actively intervene in a process where this other student doesn't understand and make sure they do.
The boys, in contrast?
The boys, in contrast, in my opinion, usually, if someone else is failing, they will try to help, but deep inside, they probably say, I'm not failing, I'm better. I'd like to do experiments with it.
The next day, Dr. Workman was teaching torque, the physical force associated with turning or twisting. In both classes, he supplemented the mathematical equations with demonstrations. But there was a difference.
Alpha is just...
This is the co-ed class. Dr. Workman is at the blackboard,
exactly like this one here,
manipulating a machine.
Grab it, boom.
And back at the board.
Let's say it's got a total mass M.
And this is the girls' class, where Dr. Workman has students manipulate the apparatus.
I want you to pull steadily that way and kind of feel what it feels like.
Not once.
There you go, and see what it feels like.
Not twice.
And I want you to loosen up by pushing on the pink spot.
But 3 times. And that was no accident.
So why wasn't it patronizing that they had to be shown 3 times?
I think the boys lost out in that one. If I were in that class, I would have liked to have seen those 3 different ways, those 3 different applications.
I thought it was so great watching those girls use the equipment. I mean, I really did. That each step, they were making their own generalization. They were doing what boys do outside of class, and they were doing it in class.
It's possible that boys have a built-in gender advantage to the degree that they tend to spend more time in childhood throwing things, playing with mechanical toys, and even toy guns.
Can I fire it?
Fire it. Stick it on the yellow wall.
On the yellow? You think I can?
On the yellow. Stick it there. Perfect.
The girls spent an entire class playing with Nerf guns before learning about trajectory.
Now, have you ever felt that before? Have you ever shot a gun like this before?
Since I've become a mother, yes. Before that, no.
Okay. Well, did the feeling of doing it make you more comfortable with the actual process by which it occurs?
Well, it made me want to do it again and consider more carefully what I was doing. But see, I didn't even know how to load the thing.
Well, you learned, didn't you?
All right.
That's fine.
All right. I didn't load it properly.
Yes, you did. You need to cock the gun. Notice I didn't tell you too soon? I didn't tell them how to cock it either. They had to learn it on their own.
my aim is improving.
And their thinking will improve in much the same way.
With his emphasis on more hands-on demonstrations, Dr. Workman is filling in the girls' experiential gaps, which appear to give boys more of what Dr. Workman calls physical intuition.
The kind of course I teach requires you to be comfortable with and familiar with mechanisms, machines, physical interaction, spatial relationships, and familiarity with those comes with experience with those. And most of the boys in the class have had experience working on their bike or fixing a car or playing sports where they're throwing things around. And I think that there's less of that in female students.
But he could cover more material if he didn't have to wait for someone to come up, do it, describe what it felt like, etc. The co-ed class got ahead that day.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it did. And you raise a very important point, because it takes more time to do what he did. And then it becomes a careful educational decision. How much do you cover versus how you cover it? But covering isn't necessarily teaching. And I just can't help but think that Deneb, moving that wheel, didn't learn more than if she had been in the coeducational class.
Well, I really feel like even if we didn't do as many problems, we went a little bit deeper into the understanding of it. And although I may not have 100 problems that I finished 75 that I really understand well.
Some of the girls, Deneb included, who'd done really well on midterms, felt they'd blown the final exam. But perhaps a more important measure of success is the number of girls like Deneb who've been inspired to take more math and science.
I got an incredible sense of satisfaction from the class. I felt really successful. I felt like I had learned a lot. I may not have learned everything that the class had to offer, but from where I started, I came a very long way.
That's what it's all about.
This semester, there's no girls-only class at IMSA. Instead, Dr. Workman's afternoon section will be half boys, half girls. But he'll teach it in the same style we saw in the all-girls class. Will boys thrive in the new environment like the girls appeared to? And will the girls' enthusiasm and confidence level remain high when guys are back in the room? The outcome is relevant to all of us because 99% of American classrooms are co-ed and are likely to stay that way.